If you are new to the channel, then subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for further notification. Okay student, welcome you all to this new lecture in GATE Power System series. So today again we will be solving 5 questions starting from question number 166 to question number 170. Okay, then let's try to solve these questions. Okay, in question number 166, the figure shows a single line diagram of a power system with a double circuit transmission line. The expression for electrical power is this much, 1.5 sin delta. Delta is the rotor angle. System is operating at a stable equilibrium point with mechanical power input equal to 1 per unit. If one of the transmission line circuits is removed, the maximum value of delta as the rotor angle swings is this much. If the expression of electrical power with one transmission line circuit removed is Pmax sin delta, then find the value of Pmax in per unit. Okay, so this one will be something like of the earlier diagram. So initially the power was flowing like this in this initial curve, that is 1.5 sin delta. It was operating at a point for a mechanical power input 1 per unit. Okay, if you remove one line, then x will increase. So x will increase means this curve will reduce. So this is the new one, Pmax sin delta. This one you don't know. So what is the maximum point it can go? This is the maximum limit. This is given maximum swing that it can have. This is suppose delta to 1.221 radian. This is given to you. Now what will happen? It will come to this position. Then because your load is here, so it will try to go here. But due to this acceleration, it will come here. It will somewhere here. It will. This is. So the maximum swing they have given. This is maximum, but here it is not. If the transmission line is removed, the maximum value of delta swings at it. So whatever it goes up, suppose it goes up to here, then it is not required to go there. This is the ultimatum. But suppose it is not required here. Up to here, these areas become equal. So this is your delta 2. So this is the maximum rotor angle it attained. It can go up to this much, but suppose here it is done. And it will be stable point is this one. Initially it was, suppose it is that delta 1. This is my delta C actually. So I know this area equal to this area. You can integrate these two. And from that itself you will find the value of Pm. This area equal to this area. Theta C will get cancelled out. So let us see what is theta 1. So 1.5 sin delta, that is equal to 1. From here you will get your delta 1, that is initial operating point, this one. So if you solve it, you will get it in degree, it is 41.81 degree, but you convert it in radian, it will be 7297 radian. So now if you integrate it, so it will be theta 1 to theta C of 1 minus this area is how much? 1 minus this. So total area is 1. If you integrate 1, then you will get total area minus this lower area. You will get this triangle, small triangle. Triangle shape look like. So this is Pm sin delta. Suppose d delta is equal to delta C to delta 2. Now what will be this one? This will Pm sin delta. If you take integration, then you will get whole area minus this one. So your lower portion you deduct. So it is Pm sin delta minus 1 d delta. So if you don't put values here, just integrate and put these values. So finally if you put it, I am not doing it, you will get your delta C get cancelled. So finally you will get your Pm is equal to delta 1 minus delta 2 divided by cos delta 2 minus cos delta 1. So you can put this value, delta 2, delta 1 you have already calculated this value, delta 2 they have given. So if you put all these value, you will get it is 1.22 per unit. That is your answer. Now if you come to 167, a 3-phase 2-pole 50 Hz synchronous generator has a rating of 250 MVA and 0.8 power factor lagging. The kinetic energy stored in the synchronous speed is this much. This is the kinetic energy. What is kinetic energy? G into H. The machine is running steadily in synchronous speed and delivering 60 megawatt power angle at an angle of 10 degree. If the load is suddenly removed, assume the acceleration constant for 10 cycle. The value of the power angle after 5 cycles. So what is 5 cycle? 5 cycle means how many degree? How many second? 50 cycle. It is a 50 Hz supply. 50 Hz. So 50 cycle means 1 second. So 5 cycle means how many seconds it will be? 1 by 50 into 5. So 1/10. So it is 0.1 second. So this one is the swing equation. Here I have written it in not in per unit format, because this GS is given absolute value. So this is not in per unit because the total kinetic energy is given. So it is in megawatt now, acceleration power. So everything is in units. No, it is not in per unit, because per unit it is H by GH. But here GH is given directly because total kinetic energy is equal to GH, that is 1000 megajoule. So it is 1000 mega. So everything this side also I will write it in mega. So because they are asking in degrees, so that's why I am written pi is this one. D square delta divided dt square is equal to what is acceleration power? It was running at 60 megawatt. So suddenly there is a stop. Suddenly the load is removed, so it is 0, so it is be 60. So both side mega will go, this mega and this mega will go, so ultimately it will be 60. So if you do d square d by dt square, you will find your acceleration is 540 degree per second square. Now they are asking after 5 seconds how much it will. So after 5 seconds what distance it will travel, as equal to ut plus half of at square. Here distance is the angle, how much angle it will, angular displacement. So your final theta will be equal to initial theta, it was operating at 10 degree electrical. So 10 plus half into acceleration is 540 into t square is 0.1 square. So if you solve this one, you will find it is 12.7 degree. That is your answer. Now if you come to 168, consider a lossy transmission line with V1, V2 is the sending end voltages respectively. Z and R is the series impedance and reactance of the line. This is steady state stability limit of the transmission. You know, if there is no Z, then what is your steady state stability limit? That is V1, V2 by X. What is steady state stability limit? That is the maximum power that you can transfer through the transmission line. From this bus to this bus, how much power you can transfer maximum. But if there is a Z inside, so that if there is a lossy, then obviously there will be losses in the transmission line. So your maximum power that you can transfer from this bus to this bus will get reduced because there will be losses. So you cannot, suppose you earlier you were sending 100 megawatt, so you will be receiving 100 megawatt. So your maximum power transfer capability is 100 megawatt. Now suppose if you are sending 100 megawatt, so it will not receive at 100 megawatt. Suppose there is a loss of 10 megawatt. So the maximum power that you can transfer is now 90 megawatt. So obviously it will be less than this one because this was ideal case, no losses if you consider. So it will be less than this one because your maximum power transfer capability has been reduced. So steady state stability is nothing but how much maximum power, that means sin delta equal to 1, and that is 90 degree delta, that how much power you can transfer. So it will be obviously less than, because there will be something lost, so you cannot send that much power now. So it will be 168B. The inductance capacitance of the power system network up to circuit breaker. So it is related to switchgear now. Locations are this much respectively. The value of the shunt resistor that are connected across circuit breaker required for critical damping of restacking voltage. Why this shunt resistor across the circuit breaker is required? Because it becomes a whenever there is a fault, there is a chance of oscillations because of LC circuit. So to reduce that oscillation, so that restacking voltage doesn't come, you give this resistance. So if you look at your transmission line, suppose this is your transmission line, there will be inductor, there will be capacitors. Suppose it is a pi network, so if I take this one is my capacitor, so this is the transmission. So breaker is somewhere here. When breaker is coming into the picture, when you want this restacking voltage, that shunt reactors, all this, when there is a fault, so you need your breaker should open. So in that case your restacking voltage should, that means there is a fault, so it is also grounded. So now there is a breaker. So breaker you are connecting across this one. So it will be something of this fashion. L and C parallel, then R is connected. So if you do analysis of this one, I am not doing this one. So if you do this one, you can find its critical damping, second order in control, you know what is critical damping ratio, this one. So this zeta will be equal to here 1 by 2R root L by C. If you calculate this one, you write down the characteristics equation, then you see the second term. So that it's what is it damping, s square plus 2 zeta into omega and s plus omega n square. So from that you will find this damping ratio. So for critical damping, this should be equal to 1. So that is known as the critical damping. So your oscillations will be, no oscillations will come. So that means your R will be equal to 1 by 2 root L by C. So you remember this one for shunt resistor, because this solving this network in the exam will takes lots of time. So if you directly remember, it is 1 by 2, L is given, C is given. So if you put this value, and C is 0.01 into 10 to the power minus 6. So ultimately you will get it is around 5 kilo ohm. So that is your answer. Now if you come to 170, the insulation level of 400 kV extra high voltage over a transmission line is decided on the basis of. So there is a limit, that is 345 kV. So if it is beyond 345 kV, if your voltage is less than 345, whatever your supply voltage, then we generally think of your lighting over voltage, because your lightning over voltage is dominant here. But if you go above 345, then your switching over voltage is more than your lightning over, because whenever you switch on a line, switch off a line, there will be a transients will be there, and suddenly if you switch on and switch off a line which is more than 345 kV, that is 400 kV line, if you suddenly switch out and switch it in on and off, then the over voltage that will come, the transient over voltage, that will be more than your lightning over voltage. So in that case we will be considering switching over voltage SWIT if it is greater than 345. So it is 400 kV, so obviously it is option B. If you like the video, then press the like button and please give your valuable comments in the comment section.